There we go. Now we're live. Now the microphone is good. Now we're set. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know where you're tuning in from as you're joining here for another Mindset Monday call. If you're watching the replay, let me know as well. I always like to see the comments. When you guys comment when you're watching the replays, it does actually pop up. I have the notifications open, so I see those right away. So I obviously love to see when you're tuning in because I know that there's a lot of people that follow the channel from all around the world. So right now you baby sleeping and you can't see this right now live, but you will come back and watch it for sure. So I do appreciate the views, and I do appreciate when you share this, obviously with friends, family, or community, so they could take advantage, right, of this knowledge that it's not something that I was born with. It's something that I've obtained throughout time. I've studied and I love to share. As I've always mentioned, right, for you to be able to maximize something, what do you need to do? You need to learn it, right? You read it in silence. You read it out loud, you actually learn a little bit more. You read it out loud and you write it, you learn even more, right? And it just keeps on going. It's science that has proven that. And the way to maximize for you to learn something at the highest potential is going to be when you teach it. You may not even know it at full. It doesn't mean that you're like a master at it, but when you're actually teaching it, you improve yourself. And that's what these mindset calls are for, right? They're to help you, but at the same time, they help me. And the more I grow, I can provide more for the community. So we already started off the trading side already crazy this week. Yesterday, if you're part of the community, you caught some pips, definitely dropped some dollar signs. TP3, 1800 pips were caught right away on the NAS trade. So we're already starting off the week. Amazing, right? Already. As you can see, I'm a little bit red. I'm a little bit toasty. Just came back from vacation for the VPO, aka the wife. It's birthday celebration, so we're good. Life is good. And all of that, you know why? It's because of mindset. At the end of the day, it's mindset, because you go through so many things. Like this trip that we had was just crazy. A lot of inconvenience, a lot of things happened, but at the end of the day, we had a great time, and it was all because of the mindset that we had. That's what we're going to keep on talking about. A lot of this obviously is related to trading, but if you're not trading, it doesn't matter. This will help you. And this one's actually not like full trading. This one's actually going to be a little bit more in general. So have your pen and paper ready. And we're going to get to it, all right? I see the chat already. I see you, Sherry. I see you, Helen. Thank you. I see Texas in the house. What's up, Tanya? Of course, from Georgia. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, yeah. Topic of today, as you saw the theme, it's not you, it's your system. The reason why I wanted to do this, right, have this chat with you guys, is because literally we're at the last day of the 6th month of the year. We can't even say we're halfway through the year. Like, literally today's the last day. You could probably say still you're halfway through the year. Tomorrow, that's it. Got new month, gone. We're in a whole new month, and now we are past half of the year to end. And I know a lot of people are still in a situation too where maybe this is you. If this touches you, drop a 1. We could completely be open here. You know, we listen, we don't judge. If you feel you're still kind of stuck, you're like, man, I know I said so much stuff that I was going to do 6 months ago. Nothing has happened, or not all of it has happened, or it hasn't happened fully the way that you wanted to. And you're like, just, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm just lost, right? And I know a lot of people there, because even myself, I've accomplished so many things throughout the last 6 months, but I have so much still to do, and time is ticking. It's like, man, now I'm down like literally to 3 months, because I like doing things by November. I like having it done. You know what I mean? So it's like we're so close now to where we have, yes, 3 to 5 months to have it done. And here's the thing. You need to stop blaming yourself. You need to start beating yourself up, because it's not you. It's not that you can't do it. It's not that maybe you're doing something wrong. It's your system. And right now, by just beating yourself up because you haven't accomplished what you said 6 months ago, is not going to get you to accomplish it by the end of the year. So we need to stop that immediately and simply affirm that, hey, you know what? It's not me. It's not me. It's not my fault. It's the system, right? And not the system in general, but it's your system, because you do have to take accountability at the end of the day. So it is your system. So understand that today's message, what I want to do with today's message, okay? Today's message, I want it to literally set you free. I want this message that I'm sharing with you today to set you free completely, because I feel like If you haven't completed what you are and you're beating yourself up, you're literally locking yourself down. You're compressing yourself. You're putting yourself in a box. I need you to be free. And that's what this message is going to be today. You've been calling yourself maybe lazy. You've been beating yourself up. You've been telling yourself maybe that you're broken. That's why you can't do things, that you're behind, that you're not consistent, that you're not good enough. Understand the power of words, right? We know that we've spoken about that in past sessions. And I say all of these things because guess what? It's not something that I read. It's actually stuff that I've told myself in the past. Many times I've told myself in the past those words. Now, let me say this like loud and clear. Loud and clear. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not the problem. Okay? You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not the problem. It's not that you're not good enough. It's not that you're behind. Okay? We need to understand truly what is the problem. Because you're not the problem, but there is a problem. So we need to understand that. The system that you're currently using, or worse, that you're not using, is what's failing you. Now, I speak about system. What do I mean about system, right? What's the system? If you see an athlete, what is their system? They get up, they run, they do yoga, they do stretching, they eat a specific meal, they go back to the gym, then they go to practice, and they meditate. Like, that's their system to get them to the point where they're collecting a ring, they're collecting a championship, right? They have a system in place to be able to get there. You've never seen any, really, like I've still to this day, I know there's very few in history, but they still had a certain level of practice, right? Like I know Dennis Rodman, if you like basketball, like he was crazy, but he was there every single game. He was there every single practice. Outside of that, yes, he was partying, he was doing a bunch of crazy stuff, but he was there every single practice, every single game, giving 110%. There was a system behind those championships, right? Now, do you have a system? You might have one. You might think you have one. Waking up every day at the same time, brushing your teeth, changing for work, going to work, coming back, eating lunch, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, going to bed. Sorry, but that's not a system. That's not a system that's actually going to take you to that next level. That is just repetition. Repetition and system aren't the same things. So most likely, if you haven't met the goal that you said you were doing 6 months ago, it's because you actually do not have a system. Or you think you do have one. You might have one, but it's not the correct one. It's lacking a little bit of pieces there. Now, the truth about systems, we need to speak about that, right? It's really hard when we speak about success, right? Because we all want success. We all want to reach success. We all want to be successful. But success isn't about willpower. It's about structure. We go back to those situations, right? You see a celebrity, they go for a movie. They have a script. They don't just improvise 100% of the movie. There's some parts that we see improvised that are really funny and they come naturally, but in reality, there's a script. In that script, there's structure. That's what made them get the Emmy or Global, whatever it is, like top movie, all that situation, right? Sell out, everything. Why? That movie was successful. That artist, that celebrity, that actor won the award for his role he played or she played. Why? Because of the structure, because of the structure. So understand that success isn't about willpower, it's about structure. Systems, we need to understand how important systems are. Systems are the bridge, right? That gap between intention and action. 6 months ago, you had the intention to do what? You said, hey, you know what? New year, new me. I'm going to lose so many pounds. I'm going to buy the house. I'm going to buy the car. I'm going to travel here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to get my first 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever may be the case. Those were great intentions that you had. And when you said that in December, January, that you were doing all these amazing things, did you create a system behind it? If you did not, then you just had the intention to do so. That's great. That's the first step. Don't get me wrong. But without a system, that's just intention. There's no bridge that gaps from intention to action. And we need to take action to be able to complete, to get to that success. A quote that I love, right, from James Clear. I had to write this one down because I never remember who says them. I just remember them, but I don't remember who says them. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. I'll say that one more time. One more time so you can write it down on your notes. James Clear said, we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. If that one excites you, drop me some twos in the chat for sure. And if you're watching this replay, you drop them as you're going. Don't worry about it. I'll see you later. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. It's strong. And you have to really just understand it. Remember, read it. Read it out loud. Write it down. So you could really begin to understand it more and more what that means. There's habits that we have, as I mentioned, right? You get up at the same day. Like I get up every single day, 6:30 without an alarm clock. It's a habit now at this point, right? But now habits fail when they live in chaos, right? Imagine if that habit was me waking up every day at a total different time that didn't make sense for what I had to do. I'm up at 6. Cool, let's go. Let's start getting ready. Let's do what we got to do. I'm ready for my live session. We're good. We're hitting the charts. Actually makes sense. That habit is actually pretty good because I'm not a morning person, so I don't want to wake up at 7:30 and jump on the charts at 8 with you, all of you guys, right? In front of thousands of you guys jump on a live chart barely awake. I'm not going to be able to be all in my zone. I have my own system I have to do, so waking up at 6 actually works. But if not, habit then fails when they live in chaos. System creates order, predictability, results. When you have a system, again, I'll say that one more time. System creates order, predictability, and results. What do we want? We want results, right? We want good results. So having a system, that habit of me waking up at 6 actually is really good for me getting into the charts because I have a system that I follow every morning to get to that point when I need to hit the charts. Thanks to the system, that habit isn't living in chaos. It's actually helping me, but it's because of the system. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? Feel free to, if you want to put the answers in the chat, that's fine. And if not, write them down, read it out loud. That's for you, right? And this one does involve a little bit more on the trading side and some goals, okay? And if you don't have one, just write NA in the chat. Non-applicable. NA. That you don't have one. And if you're writing that, there you go. As you can see, you don't have a system. And it's good. Don't bum yourself out. Don't beat yourself up. Realization is the first step, right? So you just realize that, okay, I don't have a system, okay? Here's a question for you. What system do you use? What system do you have in place to support your trading? I know 99% of the people here trades with me, right? And if not, at one point you did trade with me. So what system do you have in place that supports your trading? Do you have one? If you don't, put NA. Do you have one? For me, right, part of my system, again, make sure I'm up early, I'm fresh, I got my drink, good, I got my music. My music is always part of it, right? I'm good. RST, okay, like I've told you guys before, okay, today's the start of the day. How much money do I have in my account? What is my goal to that account? Okay, great. Boom, boom. Like, I have a system that supports my trading. I have amazing people around me, right? I have amazing mentors. I have an amazing wife. I have amazing sons. Like, I have part of my system, but I have a system. You're just jumping into the charts. It shows, right? And again, I see somebody put NA, you don't. I see Share put NA. That's perfectly fine, guys. Congratulations. My hat off to you guys that admit it, because it's not hard. A lot of people, your ego will lift you so high to we're gonna be like, oh no, I have a system for sure, and you're like, I have no system, but I'm not gonna say that. For you saying that out loud, that means so much, because a closed mouth does not get fed. You are literally speaking out to the universe right now, to God, whatever you want to believe in, right? Hey, you know what? Like, I don't have a system. I need one. I just realized it. Like, tomorrow, you were probably looking at to take a trade tonight, and you probably now are going to stop yourself from that, because now you just realize that you don't have a support system to it. And guess what? That question right there might have been life or death to your account. You might have just saved your account tonight because of that realization to it, right? Now here comes one that even goes farther. I'm excited that you're going to start seeing me speak about this a lot more alongside with my wife and our team, Candace, everybody. You're going to see us speak about this more, right? What system do you have in place that supports your health? It's a big one. What system do you have? For me, it's crazy because I know what I'm supposed to do, I don't do it. So it's like, that's even worse. Like, we listen and we don't judge. You know, I'm transparent with you guys, and that's why I love doing it. 3 months ago, maybe, around 3 months ago now, to my wife, you know what, we're going to get to working out. We're going to the beach, like at least 2 months, 60 days. Let's work out this, and that, so we can feel, at least myself, I want to feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, let's do this. Looked on Facebook Marketplace. I bought this beautiful workout cage, huge, beautiful workout cage. It's like $1,500 plus the bench, a bunch of weights, like the gold gym weights, everything, the whole nine, like all name brand from this guy that was actually looking to open his own gym up, but he decided not to. And he was like, I literally bought everything for $500. It was like $2,500 worth of gym equipment for $500. A pulley system, brand new in the box. Measured it. I'm gonna put it in the garage. I moved some boxes, some totes, everything out of the garage, make some space for it so I can build it, and we can have 60 days to work out. We just came back from that vacation that I just told you, right? Everything is still boxed up. I haven't built it. I know the system. I know I'm supposed to work out at least 30 minutes a day. I'm supposed to work out. And I have literally right here next to me, like on the floor right here, there's a walking pad that I've used maybe like 3 times. When it should be right here, and I should literally be walking on it right now as I'm speaking to you guys. So I know the system, and then let alone, like, I don't have them right here next to me because I just moved a bunch, but I have the pills. I have the tea, which you guys are actually going to see here really soon, which I lost a bunch of weight, so I know it works. My wife lost like 60 pounds, so I know the products work. I know what I'm supposed to eat, what I'm not supposed to eat, right? But I don't have a system. And because I don't have a system, I'm not using everything. Literally, I have 2 bottles of pills. I have a bag of tea. But I had a system to where I was eating clean, I was taking the pills, I was drinking the tea, and I lost like 25 pounds in the matter of like a month and a half. My wife lost like 60 pounds in the matter of 2-3 months. Following that system, and then I stopped the system. I gained a little bit. Thankfully, not a lot. Shout out to Get Bodied, right, with Candace, because that thing didn't make me bounce like crazy. Like, I didn't gain the full 25 pounds that I had lost. I gained like 5 pounds, but still, there's no system to it, right? Here's another one for you guys. Another question: what system do you have in place to support your mindset? That one, I think, is one of the ones that's most ignored, undervalued, right? It's mindset, it's fine, you don't need that. No, you need that. You need that. I told you guys, when it comes to trading is the easiest, most difficult way to make money. We press 1 or 2 buttons, buy or sell, and with the ATM that I already provided to the team that's in the organization. I already provided you guys with the ATM settings and everything. You literally click one button and it does everything else for you. Literally today we launched another partner in the business that we have, right? Where there's actual crypto automation to where you just have to connect your account and it does it for you. But at the end of the day, even if you're not doing nothing and the system, the AI is trading for you, you still need a mindset, because you're going to see your account go down, go up. You're going to see movements. You're not going to see movements. Mindset. How are you going to focus and stay consistent on the health stuff if you don't have mindset, right? Mindset is so important and it's completely ignored. That's why I do these calls. And that's why I've told you guys, social media is so powerful if you know how to use it. I love TikTok for brain rot. That's what I call it, right? I love Instagram for brain rot. But every single day, one time a day at least, especially at the beginning of my day and at the end of my day, I'll go to the search and I'll type mindset, motivation. Depending what I'm feeling that day at the beginning, I'll be like motivation for this, motivation for that. And I'll watch 10 minutes of video snippets, the bites, everything that they have there, shorts of just amazing speakers touching on the mindset side of things. I'm not much of a reader. I don't like reading. I have read a couple good books, but I'll prefer those quick little 3-5 minute, and I just grab a couple of them and I feel good to start my day, jump into the charts. Midday, if I'm feeling a little bit down, I feel like I need a little bit, boom, there. End of the day, I want to make sure that the last thing that goes into my brain is something powerful for mindset. I'm not going to let brain rot be the last thing that goes into my brain before I sleep. Some powerful mindset, right? Some Jim Rohn, some Eric Dominant, some good people like that, right? Do you have a system? I have a system for that one. That I do. I could say proudly that I do. Now, let me ask you one more. What system do you have in place that supports your goals? What system do you have in place that supports your goals? Oh, my goal is for this. Okay. What system do you have? Yes, there could be goals that could take a little bit more time than others, this and that. That's fine. But where are you halfway through? Oh, my goal is to buy a house this year. Okay, cool. So what system do you have for those goals? Your credit. Gotta bring your credit up. DM me. DM the person that invited you most likely to this call. They have something for you as well. We got it all, guys. Like, there's no reason why you wouldn't have a system towards your goal. I'm not saying that it's been 6 months in the year and you haven't bought your house. Well, no, that takes time. You have to get your credit up. You have to adjust your accounts. You have to get to the mortgage. You have to do this. You have to do that. Like, there's a lot of steps that go to it. But where are you in that process to that goal? If there's a system, in a system there's measurements. You should be able to measure as far as that distance. Hey, you know what? Here's my performance, right? KPIs, right? You have to have those things. Think about it, guys. When it comes to goals, I want to say this, right? If you worked at a professional level, you know what a KPI is? drop me a one in the chat, right? I'm going to go back to my old corporate days. But if you look into the corporate side, you see like, let's just speak about like an actual manufacturing, right? Warehouse. You have just the assembly line, the pickers, the packers, you have the transportation, all this stuff, and everybody's all speaking about parts and jobs, this and that. And then you have maybe 5 people dressed in suits running numbers and saying a bunch of acronyms like KPI. They're running the business. $1 million business, they're running it. You have everybody else working it, but they're running it. That's why the farmer owns the farm and not the donkey, even though the donkey does all the heavy lifting, right? So you need to treat your own goals like a Fortune 500 company. If your goal is to buy a house, you need to go ahead and ask ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, what's a KPI? I need to understand that. Like, hey, I need a goal to buy a house. Like, how could I measure that goal? Every goal has to be measured. There has to be a system to that. There has to. If you don't have a system to it, then you don't have a system supporting, right? A system in place to support that goal. You're not going to hit that goal. And to finalize this, we already touched a few of those points, right? Last question here to wrap this part up. Let's say you do have a system. Let's say you're about to build a system after this call. I've hyped you up and you're ready to get this system. As soon as this call's over, you're going to go and ask ChatGPT and all this stuff. You're going to ask the person that invited you, said, hey, Brett said something about bettering my credit, getting out of debt, all that stuff. Like, what was he talking about? They'll tell you about that stuff too. But, hey, Brent said something about weight loss products. They'll tell you about that. Hey, Brent said something about trading. They'll tell you about that. Don't worry about it. All that, we got that for you. We'll take care of you. Don't worry about that. Let's say you build a system or you already have a system built. Is that system built for who you are now or who you want to become? Is that system built for who you are now or who you want to become? Remember, something that I always say, for those that know me close, you know that I always say this. Not because I lie, don't get me wrong, I don't like lying, right? But I always say this, that you have to understand, it's not, I'll lie to myself all day, I won't lie to you guys, right? So something that I always say, it's not a lie if you believe it, right? I learned that from Seinfeld. George Costanza, shout out to George. It's not a lie if you believe it. Your system has to be built for the you that already has the house, the car, whatever it may be, right? Whatever your goal is. Your system has to be built for who you are going to become. Because I've said this a million times on these calls, guys. The goal isn't the actual goal. The goal is you, the person that you evolve into when you get to that point. So my systems are built as if I'm already a billionaire, even though I'm not. Not yet. Right? Make sure your system is built that way. You have to be really careful with the system. Because at the same time, like if you work a 9 to 5, then you can't build a system where you're reading 10 pages every hour. Well, you got work to do. Like, adapt it around your schedule, but your system has to be built for that person that you want to become. No, I can't remember who says this. I've said it there. I wrote it down. I cannot remember who says this quote. Your system must meet you where you are, but stretch you to where you want to be. Your system must meet you where you are, but stretch to where you want to be. So that's your system has to be built to where you are currently right now, as far as your time frame, your availability, all that stuff. But you need to stretch it as much as possible to where you want to be. If for whatever reason your system requires you to obtain a bunch of expensive books, and right now you can't buy those, okay, we'll stretch that out and go ahead and take a walk, take a ride, grab the bus, go to the library, scan some pictures of it, grab that book, take it home, bring it back. Like, always stretch it as much as far as you can when it comes to that, right? We good with that? We're good with that? Drop some twos in the chat if you're good with that. Your system must meet you where you are, but stretch where you want to be. We're almost done, guys. 2 more points. We're almost done. You guys know I like usually doing 30 minutes, but this one I felt like it was really important just because of where we are right now in the year. So I wanted to go a little bit more. Now I'm going to give you guys some pointers, right? 3 pointers on how to build your system. Cool? How to build your system. 3 pointers. First, we start with a vision. That's the most important part when you're building your system. So questions you need to ask yourself. 2 questions. Simple questions. Simple, yet very complex. Simple, you need to ask these questions to yourself in the mirror. So it's going to be a little bit rough, right? It's going to take you a little bit of time. But you want to make sure you ask yourself these questions to understand fully the vision. Question number 1. Who are you becoming? That one's really hard. Who are you becoming? It's not who you want to be. Who are you becoming? You speak it in the present, right? Who are you becoming? It's going to happen. So who are you becoming? That's hard because a lot of times we don't even know who we are. I've been through many times in my life to where it's like, I don't even have that full identity, to where it's like, I don't even know, like, who's Brent? You know what I mean? Like, and we've all gone through that. If you're going through that, Keep your head down, but your chin up, right? It's a rough time to go through. So, who are you becoming? That's the first question. Second question, what does this version, this future version of you, do every day? What do you want to do every day? I mean, every day. What do you want to do every day? A lot of times that could be nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times it's nothing. If you want to do nothing, good. Do nothing. I don't know who made that situation of like a human always has to be doing something. No. I want to do what I love the most, the least amount of time. That's why I already only go live 3 days a week, 1 hour a time. I love trading. I'll do it the least amount of time. Who are you becoming? What does that future version of you want to do every day? Those two questions should really help you start understanding your vision. At that point, you start tweaking a little bit, adding a little bit, but those two questions should be like a good starting point for your vision to build a good foundation. Second one. So you need to go ahead and when you're building your system, you need to break it down into behaviors. We're humans, we have emotions, we have behaviors. Right? So when you're speaking about this, understanding behaviors and break it down, here's a couple questions to understand that a little bit more, okay? What do you do in the morning? What do you do? I have the horrible habit, I'm not going to lie, and it's something that I've fought for the longest. The first thing I do is I grab my phone. And I know you're not supposed to. I know you're not supposed to. And I still fight with that. But what do you do every morning? Now, when you're in the zone as far as building a system, understanding the future version of you, understanding who you want to become, understanding that you have to build a system, does that align? Candace, I write my gratitude statements, and that's why Candace is Candace Burt Davis. Right there. Speak my affirmations. That's why she's the CEO of her brand, and she's an amazing leader. Thank you, Candace. Amazing mentor. I still, like, we listen to it, we don't judge. I still grab my phone and I go straight to TikTok and Instagram, or I go straight to Telegram and I start answering all your guys' messages immediately. I'll go right to the charts, and then like 5-10 minutes later, it's like, damn, stop. Put some music, get into the movement, some motivation, something, walk around, grateful. If everybody's awake, then I could be loud and start saying stuff. Like I've told you guys, it doesn't matter. Start walking around. I'm the best. I'm the good. I'm that. I start speaking like that. I'm going to go ahead and crash these charts. I'm going to go undefeated. Like I start speaking like that's where I need to be at, right? And then there's other health stuff, right? You drink your teas. I know a lot of people tell you like drink cold water, cold plunges. There's like so much cold showers. There's all these different things that you can do for your health, right? There's different stuff. So I can understand, what do you do in the morning? That's one question. Now, again, breaking down, what do you avoid? That's a big one. What do you avoid? Like your natural behavior, what do you avoid? I avoid the gym, right? If I want to support the system for me to be healthy, should I be avoiding the gym? I don't think I should be avoiding the gym. But I avoid the gym. So what are you avoiding? And by avoiding so, does it align to support the system, to support that goal? The other counter of it, right, is how do we prepare? How do you prepare when you're doing any sort of task? Are you preparing? Are you just going straight to it? And there's not always a right or wrong to it. Like I've told you guys before, when it comes to the charts, I don't like looking at the charts. I like going into my live sessions in the morning and opening the chart with you guys. That is just the way that I know I actually have tested in the past that actually improves my trading. When I go into the charts prior, I tend to overanalyze too much and look at past data that really doesn't matter. If I lose the trade, I could be dragging that mentally. So the way that I prepare for my live sessions actually has nothing to do with the charts, but I prepare in other ways, right? So understand the preparation. Are you preparing? Are you not? And how are you preparing? Because that's the key. How do you prepare? It's not just saying, okay, I'm going to prepare to do this. I'm going to go for a run. Let me just tie my shoes. No, okay. How are you preparing for that? Okay, I'm going to speak to myself that I'm going to be able to run. I'm going to knock this run. I'm going to do this pace. I'm going to get my headphones. I'm going to do some stretches. Like, you actually have a system, right? That's getting to that goal. Now, failure is inevitable. It's going to happen, guys. It's part of the process. We've spoken about this before, right? About pressure being a pleasure and everything. We've spoken about this a million times. But here's the thing. How do you reset after a failure? Because a lot of times we have the tendency of like, okay, I failed. This sucks. I'm the worst. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow. Like, dude, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. What are you talking about? Like, you're giving up for the day? Like, you still have over 12 hours left for the day. What do you mean you're done and you're just giving up and let's give this tomorrow? No, reset. Reset and let's go. Let's keep on going. So how do you reset? Understand your behaviors and break it down. Analyze what you already are doing and break it down. Is it good? Is it not good? Understand those behaviors. Last part of building your system, okay? Create infrastructure that helps you win. Infrastructure is a powerful word. Understand that. Google it, ask ChatGPT, break it down what infrastructure means. But if you're building a system, you need to have infrastructure. Without infrastructure, there is no system. Without system, there is no infrastructure. It's key, right? So create one. What do I mean by that? Time blocking is huge, guys. Something that I used to do when I was working 9 to 5. Right now, thankfully, I don't have to do it because I don't do much. But before, to make sure I climbed that corporate ladder and I got to the point where I time block. You would look at my calendar and it was blocks for every single thing, like all day nonstop. Like I was literally blocking out, have lunch with the family, blocking out, go feed when we had chickens, go feed the chickens with my son. Like I was blocking out. I literally had a block out, play Call of Duty. Like everything was time blocked. Right now, again, as life evolves, that'll evolve too. You don't have to do it constantly, right? At least I don't do it much right now. I still have time blocks for important things, and I still make sure that I have things managed. But, right, time blocking, it's a really good key. Checklist, that's a huge one. I have the Ushiny syndrome. So if I don't checklist things, I don't know if I have it or not, whatever. I'm not diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I got something there. I got a little sprinkle of something there. So for me, if I don't actually checklist it, I'm most likely going to forget about it. And it's not going to happen. So I need to write it down on a piece of paper. I need to checklist it. Make sure I actually do things. When you're trading, right, there's routines. You could do pre-market, post-market, pre-session, past session, pre-trade, past trade. Figure out what works best for you. Like literally part of my pre-market routine is not looking at the charts. Making sure I got my music, got my drinks, everything good. I'm feeling good. I put the watch that I feel on for that moment. If I feel like putting on a hat, whatever. It could be the most insignificant things, but at the end of the day, it's part of the routine. Post-market, we're done. Cool. Close it down. I don't open the charts anymore. Like I literally click the button and I'm done and I'll go do something to keep myself distracted, right? Accountability calls. If you're in the TR3 organization, if you're in with us, you know you have a team, you have chats, right? You know you have the core leaders like myself, Candace, my wife, like you have people you can reach out to stay accountable. Accountability is huge. You're not going to make it alone. Like I've said this before, to me, I do not believe in the self-made. Like that doesn't exist. Like nobody becomes a self-made millionaire, billionaire, whatever by themselves, right? So don't try to be a hero. Don't try to be the first one. Like have the accountability. And it's always best if you have the actual accountability call with somebody versus yourself. It's always best. Always best. You might feel like you're going to look crazy in the chat when you're going like, hey guys, I had a great day. I'm 2-1. I'm done for the day. Love it. I'm going to jump to the rest of the calls. Even if nobody says nothing to you. At least you spoke it out. It's part of the accountability. Most likely somebody will like it. Congratulations, everything. The other way around. Hey, I had a bad day. I slipped. Brett went 2-0. I went 0-3. My bad. Sucks. I'm the negative. I'm just going to call it a day. It's still accountability. It's always good to have that support. And you're going to have it here with us. You already know that. With that, environments. Environments are huge, guys. right? And it's really hard because you might be in an environment where you're going to work where it's a very toxic maybe environment. It doesn't align with your vision, doesn't align with your system, your workspaces, you have things of that nature, right? Maybe it's your own family, which kind of sucks, but it happens a lot of times, your own friends. You create your own environment. When you have mindset, you're in your own environment. That's why I tend to do pretty good when it's like I'm in a plane and there's a crying baby, like I'm gone. Like I know how to mask it out, right? I know how to create that environment side of things. The cool thing too is that you have the support, you have the chat, you're here with the team, so you're in a good environment, even if it's just digitally, but you're in a good environment. And I'll give you some key points here because we're going to close this out, okay? I know I went way past the 30 minutes now, but again, I felt this was super important. If your system makes you feel overwhelmed, that means it's broken. Your system should never feel overwhelmed. I don't care how crazy, exaggerated your goal is, you should never feel overwhelmed. Because if you feel overwhelmed, that means it's broken. If your system only works when you have a perfect day, it's broken too. Your system needs to work when things are not working that great. When you win a trade, when you lose a trade, when you win a pound, you lose a pound, right? Whatever. Then when you have a so good moment with a not so good moment, your system should always work no matter how those emotions are going, and it should never make you feel overwhelmed. So as you're building your system, if you start feeling overwhelmed, go back to the whiteboard and figure things out, because your system is just not there. You need to make it for you, right? Like I said, your system needs to meet you where you are, but it needs to stretch to where you want to be. So you need to tweak it up a little bit. Cool? I'm going to close out last with this. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you for your attention. We close it out with this. Just a reminder again, you're not the problem, so stop saying that. Stop saying that you are the problem. You haven't hit your goals. You're not going to do it. Words are so powerful. Stop that. You're not the problem. It's your framework, your infrastructure, your system. That's what the problem is. Yes, it's your responsibility, of course. Is somebody going to create the system for you? I would love to create systems for every single one of you. It's impossible. You need to create your own system. You need to understand your own infrastructure. You build your own framework. You have our support, like these calls and the community and everything. Of course, you have trainings. You have a lot of tools to put together your system. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, right? I said at the beginning of the call, what did I say? For those who remember, that today's message was to set you free. So with that, I challenge you guys. Stop fixing you. Start fixing your system. Stop fixing you. Okay, you're not the problem. Start fixing your system. Build a framework that supports your growth, your vision, your life. Things that should excite you. We get distracted a lot of times because of social media, right? Which 90% plus of all that is fake anyways. But we get like so distracted on like, we need the fancy cars and the houses and the watches and all that stuff. Okay, guys, I love it too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I buy a lot of that stuff too. Like, it's cool, right? But that's not the framework. It's growth. It's vision. It's life. That's where it is, right? So build your framework that supports that. One that works with your energy. Everybody's different. One that works with your energy. We go through seasons throughout this year. We've spoken about this. Just like trading goes through seasons, your life goes through seasons as well. So you need to create a system that actually is in your current season. I don't have the same system I had 6 months ago. It changes. It evolves as the seasons pass. You're going to hit a goal and a new goal comes as well. So build one, right? That works again with your energy, with your seasons, with your goals. You're not lazy. I take naps all the time, guys. It doesn't make me lazy. I feel kind of under the weather. I took 2 naps today. That doesn't make me lazy. I'm here, right? You're not lazy. You just haven't had a system that lets you win consistently. Knock on wood, it continues that way. Thank God, thank the universe. Been winning pretty consistently lately. The charts, my results show it, right? I have a system. I take naps every single day. I'm not lazy. Right? That's all you need. You need a system that allows you to win consistently. So let's make sure we change it this week. We got to change it. It's Monday, guys. It's Monday. We got to change it. Make sure we have everything that we need to do. Have a system clear. Update our systems if we already have one. Do what we have to do. Because it's us, guys. It's us. We're a community. We obviously support. But at the end of the day, all of this shuts off. The camera shut off. The phone shut off. Social media shuts off. Everybody goes away. And it's just you and you when it's time to go to bed, right? That's it. It's just you and you. So you are responsible of building this system. Yes, we provide you the tools, but you are responsible of building the system and, more importantly, staying consistent to it. That's going to be the biggest key. So, July 1 Eve, right? Right, exactly, July 1 Eve. So thank you guys again for the support. Thank you guys for being here. Again, this always helps me, and I know it has to help you as well. So the best thing you could do now is share this. As soon as this is over, the replay will be there. There's a folder that says Mindset Monday with all the Mindset Monday calls are there. So make sure you share this. Anybody that you think this could really touch, somebody that you think might need this, share this. They can watch. As you see, I sold nothing. I'm not with any intention of here trying to sell anything to anybody, even though we have a bunch of amazing stuff to sell. Not selling nothing. This is truly coming out of my heart for you guys to help. So it doesn't matter if you're trading, not trading, whatever it is. Send this to somebody. Have them follow. Come here every Monday as well and get everything that we provide. And yeah, guys, as always, it's not about getting to the top, but it's about how many people you could bring with. So catch you guys at the top. Peace.